Episode 10. What is NLP?
Hi everyone. In the last few episodes, we were discussing about what makes people do what they are doing. You may recall one question I asked you some time back. Why am I doing what am I doing? And why am I doing what I am doing the way I am doing? It's all about understanding what we are doing and why we are doing what we are doing. We were discussing the mindset of achievers, and I tried to discuss with you the split brain theory, how the brain has two halves, the right side of the brain and the left side of the brain. Sometime towards the end of 1997, I got a real breakthrough in my understanding of human behavior. I happened to read one of the books of Anthony Robbins, The Unlimited Power. I should say that changed my life. It is said that some books may change your life, some people may change your life, some experience could change your life. This book introduced me to a very important concept which explained to me the various puzzles and questions I had about people and why people behave in a particular way. I came across the word NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, first time in my life. And as I read through the book, I became very inquisitive to understand what NLP is. I'm going to explain to you how NLP could be applied to improve our personality. I did my advanced practitioners program in NLP from NLP Comprehensive Colorado sometime in end of 1997. That 30 days of my experience with NLP made me to understand why people do what they do. Let me explain what NLP is. NLP stands for Neuro-Linguistic Programming. During the last 20 years, this concept has hit the world. A lot of people have started understanding what NLP is, and NLP is finding its way across various parts of the world and various parts of the society. Neuro means to do with brain. We talk about neurons, we talk about neurosurgery, we talk about neurology department. Neuro means has got something to do with brain. Linguistic means the use of language, and programming is taken from the computer science. Two Americans by name Richard Bandler and John Grinder came out with this breakthrough idea that just like a computer is programmed and an output from a computer is a result of an input, process and output factor, so in the case of a human behavior, there has to be an input to the mind, there has to be a process in the mind, and our behavior is just an outcome of the input and the process. Many of you will be familiar about some of the commands we use in a computer processing work. There is an input. For example, let's say that I want to take out a printout of a document which is stored in my computer. If I want to print out of this document, I hit Ctrl P and I get the printout. Supposing I don't get my printout, I check whether I hit Ctrl P or I hit Shift P or Function P and satisfy myself whether my input is right. If my input is right, I go and verify whether my input is being processed by the LED light which is burning in my computer system. And if it is there, then I go and check my printer whether it is connected properly. And so I check my input, my process, and then only I find out why am I not getting the output that I want. I know pretty well that as long as I do not give the right input command, and as long as the computer is not processing my input properly the way it should be processing, no matter how many times I hit Ctrl P, I'm not going to get my printout. Now let us look at this example with our mind. Our mind has to have certain inputs, and the input is processed in our mind, then the mind gives command to the brain and the brain initiates certain action. So an understanding of the computer will help us to get an output from the computer, and so an understanding of how the brain and the mind interacts with each other will get a clear understanding of why we are doing what we are doing and what we should do to do something else different. Isn't it amazing? In the next few episodes, I'm going to explain NLP concepts and how NLP could be used to develop our personality.
தரமான மெட்ரிக் பாடத்திட்டத்துடன் ABS வித்யாலயா திருவள்ளூர்.